There was this time when I was going to a nightclub, and it was earlier in the evening, and the nightclub wasn't quite open yet. And I'm like, well, I need to kill some time. So I'm kind of walking by the entrance of it, halfway down the block. And I noticed at the corner, there's this guy with a kind of vacant look in his face. It looks like there's something wrong with him, something, fishy. But I'm not really concerned about that. I don't necessarily, avoid people like that. Anyway, I'm walking down the street. I figure, oh, there's a bookstore over here. I want to go to here. So I start crossing the street at a 45-degree angle. By the time I get to the sidewalk on the other side of the street and I turn, in my peripheral vision, I now see that he has come. He's midway in the street. It's a low traffic street, so there's no concern of cars. But he's at the WL line and he's going like this, like giving me these karate kicks. He's not saying anything, but he's just going like that. So at that point, clearly I realize that there is whatever you want to call some type of abandonment or rejection issue going on. So I sit down on the sidewalk and I say, hey, I'm sorry if I bothered you. Would you like to sit down and talk? At that point, he immediately stopped with the karate kicks. I imagine his brain was kind of short-circuiting at that point. I have found that when people attack you, whether it's an implicit or an explicit way, that not responding diffuses the situation. They almost look for you to respond. Even though they're instigating, they're going to kind of ignore that. And they're going to say, this person's response is responsible for my behavior. Anyway, so at that point, he just kind of stared and looked at me blanked. I sat on this curb for another, 20 seconds or so. And at that point, he kind of, I guess gave up and walked away. But again, really interesting. Here's a person where if I antagonized them, it probably would have escalated. The simple fact that I didn't respond at all, and not only that, but responded in honestly a kind of respectful manner. I apologized. Maybe I did something wrong. I didn't mean to offend you. But that totally diffused the situation, and he walked away after that. Interesting how people, when you think they have nothing going on inside, can behave in very logical fashion.